Did you know 100,000 people may be wrongfully convicted of crimes in the US each year? More importantly, this can be prevented through DNA exoneration. Exoneration means the action of officially absolving someone from blame or conviction or the release of someone from a duty or obligation. Oh, and DNA. Well, you know what that is. But the question is, what can DNA exoneration do? There have been 316 post-conviction DNA exonerations in the US since 1989. There were none before that because scientists hadn't quite figured it out yet. The average length of time served by exonerees is 13.5 years, and the average age of exonerees at the time of wrongful conviction is 27. Of the 316 people that were exonerated, 198 were African American, 94 were Caucasian, 22 were Latino, and 2 were Asian. They were all innocent. 30 pled guilty to crimes they didn't commit, which leaves 286 who claimed they were innocent and were. DNA exoneration has freed 18 people from death row. They were convicted in 11 states and served a combined 229 years in prison, 202 of which was on death row. DNA exonerations have made serious progress, but there's still work to be done. 39 states have had exonerations. Does this mean there's no one innocent in the remaining 11? Probably not. So what's the biggest challenge to DNA exoneration? Why are people still wrongfully convicted? In over 50% of DNA exonerations nationwide, the wrongful conviction can be traced back to unvalidated or improper forensic evidence, which is a fancy way of saying carelessness. The Innocence Project found that 20% of closed cases were closed on behalf of lost or destroyed evidence. So let's take care of that. Some senators in 2004 had the same idea, so they created the Justice for All Act, which was signed by George W. Bush on October 30, 2004. The Justice for All Act gives inmates the right to petition a court for DNA testing to back their innocence claim, offers incentives for states that actively work to preserve evidence and provide DNA testing for inmates claiming innocence, provides further funding to states that will increase reliance on DNA testing in new investigations, and increases compensation available to wrongfully convicted prisoners upon their release. Which brings us to the end of the process. Once a DNA test reveals an inmate's innocence, they're released. Right now, 29 states provide a form of compensation upon release, but they all vary in what they give. Illinois gives $85,350 to those who have served up to 5 years, $170,000 for those between 5 and 14 years, and $199,150 for those who have served more than 14 years. So there you go. Wrongful convictions can be overturned by DNA exoneration, which is great, except for all the mistakes. But the Justice for All Act wants to help. So far, 316 people have been freed in 39 states, and as science improves, so does exoneration.